Welcome to Let's Play Rule the Waves 2 as France starting in 1920. This is episode 53 and let's see what's happened after our big Battle of Biscay victory. Check out whether there's going to be any kind of peace overtures. One thing I did notice is that in July the British had 424 points worth of ships in Northern Europe against my 241, so substantially outnumbered. But in August, because of our victory, they only have 336, so they've lost nearly 100 points worth of ships. We have 152. I think that's because we've got some ships in repair after the battle. So I've tried to see if I can move my ships out of the Mediterranean into Europe. I suspect I won't be allowed to because of the blockade, but if I can, that may well even up the score a bit. Let's see what the turn brings us. A convoy defence. Okay, let's accept. And the British decline. Well, thank you very much. And a raid on coastal shipping off the Isle of Wight. Okay, let's accept that as well. And this one is going to happen. Now this is quite close to Portsmouth, which is an airbase. So I'm going to ask it to suppress enemy airfields because this might be a bit hairy depending on what turns up. Okay, this seems like a pretty big fleet. Let's have a look at the order of battle. All we have to do is sink 2 ships. So 3 battleships there, with a couple of carriers mixed up, and another couple of carriers, some cruisers and light destroyers, and that's it. That's just the main force is the force. Let's have a look at the time. 10 hours and 20 minutes until dusk. The weather's clear. The sighting range is 29,000, so that's pretty good. We are in August, so you know the days are pretty long. Let's have a little look at where we should throw our reconnaissance effort. 200 miles. Okay, that seems reasonable. Let's just tidy this up a little bit. I don't think this bit is really necessary. The other side of Cherbourg, because if they are the other side of the peninsula, then they'll have to come round anyhow. Heavy cap. This is all in one force. And let's click OK and send that off. Obviously from Dunkirk, from Le Havre, from Cherbourg and further out at Brest, I fully expect them to be sending stuff across. Our objective is over there, which seems easy enough. What can go wrong? Let's advance. So let's launch our floats. Zoom in a bit. And whilst we're at it, let's have a little look at launching, or at least preparing, some strike planes. Okay, I've done a mixed force of bombers and fighters and torpedo bombers on both of the main carriers, and a secondary one, torpedo bombers and fighters on the Lafayette. Let's exit that and see what news. Any reports? No reports of anything at the moment. There's some stuff ready to go. Good lads, and some more. What I like to hear. More scouts taking off. Okay, and here's some reports for us to look at. Okay, so we seem to have 3 groups. Over here, I'm calling this cruiser group 1, reportedly a heavy cruiser, 3 light cruisers, and 9-10 destroyers. Over here, we have reportedly a merchant ship and a transport, possibly a corvette. And then over here, we have a second cruiser group of a heavy cruiser and 3 light cruisers and some other ships. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Nothing heavy. Okay, so a second report for this second cruiser group of heavy cruiser, 3 lights, and now reporting 2 destroyers and a transport. Certainly three groups of ships certainly seem to be out and about at the moment. And see what further reports we get. So just a few more odds and sods, nothing too concerning. I'm wondering whether to start to think about the CL Victor Hugo sights an unknown ship. That'll be interesting. Let's zoom in. Actually, just before that, I'm just going to see if I should launch some of my strikes at least towards some of these groups. So my last report of any of the cruiser groups was an hour ago, so I'm going to just head towards obviously this detected ship and wait for some more confirmations to come in for any larger group that identifies itself as a heavy cruiser. Well, we're not unduly concerned about that. Two heavy cruisers maybe, or a heavy cruiser and another. Let's take the Victor Hugo onto this kind of course and take our battleships northwards on an intercepting course and see if we can clarify anything else. Let's turn the Victor Hugo a little bit more around. No more just destroyers and transports being reported for quite a while. Somewhere off the Isle of Wight for another force. This certainly would seem to be one of the forces. Go on then. Let's have at least one of these readies and get them to strike. Because there doesn't seem to be a carrier here, I will just get them to attack any. And let's launch that one. Select a target here and launch that. Still got two more packages to go. We'll wait until that resolves itself a little bit more. Oh, almost forgotten how to do gunnery jewels. I might just increase the speed a little bit. They take it up to 26 knots and head towards the current position of the Victor Hugo. This Hogue is 11,000, 8 10-inch guns, 3.5-inch belt. That's not going to enjoy meeting up with my three battleships very shortly. Actually, let's just increase their speed. I know they're probably not at that at the moment. No, they're only at 19s and 20s. Whilst I'm at it, I'm going to request cap from land-based air bases as well as our carriers. Okay, there go the battleships firing. Let's Hugo around a bit and let's move this one away. It's a little bit close. Time to swap round for the battleships. Bring the Victor Hugo in, and that actually, I think I'll take this one off scout and send it to support and put it into the AI, and then that'll be fine. Let's bring the battle line around and around a little bit more. Yeah, and that has the Hogue deciding that Valor is probably better part. A pile of destroyers, which obviously we're not keen on. Quite a few hits on the poor old Lelende. And let's get the battleships going north again. I'm hoping Victor will distract the Hogue from its northbound adventures. We're at just under 17,000 yards. So let's see if we can go nice and steady. The Hogue seems to be, I was going to say, the Hogue seems to be slowing down quite a bit, which is nice. Quite a bit. Certainly reporting heavy damage. The destroyers have decided not to. Oops, and that's got the Hogue. Heavy damage. Well, this is all going very well, isn't it? All we need is one more and we've completed our mission and we all can go home feeling pretty pleased with ourselves. Our planes are nearing. I'm just going to check the reports for any other groups around. Okay, so the air reports suggest that this one and this one and this one are 3 or 4 destroyers. So just to be aware that going north there are some destroyers around. Leo's all popping in, still taking hits from the battleships. All very nice. And CA bomb hit. Well, that would be the end of the Hogue then. Which is nice, so the battleships will readjust their fire. Actually thinking about it, I probably shouldn't really be bothering about these minnows. Probably more trouble than they're worth. So if we get a nice strike against them, that's fine, but I'm not going to chase them down. Oops. Time to pop to Cherbourg, I think. And then for our carriers, let's go and grab one of these. Maybe this one. Oh, we can't put it under AI. All right, well, hopefully it will follow the lead. A lot of approaching enemy ships. They definitely got to something there. And more. Now, unfortunately, I can't bring these people under any kind of control, which is annoying. So I hope this isn't going to be embarrassing. And I hope that if we get to base, then it will allow me to have the flag shop in the carriers. Come on. No. Here we go. Right, and for nearly no loss, we sank a cruiser, a heavy cruiser, a destroyer, and a couple of auxiliaries. I mean, it was a bit unfair given the balance of forces were quite decisively in my favour, but you know, I'm not going to complain too much. So, and a prestige point, and a few more victory points. So, yeah, Battle of Isle of Wight. Nice. So, the enemy has sent out peace feelers through neutral nations about negotiated peace without border changes or reparations. Yeah, we should take our chance to end the war now. Now, my understanding is they've nicked colonies and they don't get given back. But we'll see. We'll see if this is peace in our time. After 9 months. Derailed by the Hawk Party. You hawks! And then some nonsense. Which is fine. And it would seem... Yep, they're still blockading us. So that seems like a good place to end. I see that our ships trying to escape from the Mediterranean weren't able to. So we're kind of slightly stuck with the blockade, but, you know, there are worse things. Thanks very much for watching with me. Hope you stay safe and see you next time.